Well, Andy, you generally say you're prepared the same way regardless, but is there, I guess, a little sense of relief or anything with it being definitive now?
No, it doesn't change anything. For me, it's your preparation. Everything stays the same, and so, um, yeah. I mean, I've been playing the last several weeks, and get another opportunity to play again. So, I mean, it's not like anything changes for me.
Did you know Dennis was going to announce that yesterday?
I did not know that, but it's one of those things for me. I was playing, and he told me to expect to play until you hear something different, and so that's just where we're at.
Dennis said it was an offensive decision, meaning that like the offense he feels the last 4 games with you starting, the offense has flowed and there has been some positives. I guess you feel the same way. And what I guess positives have you been seeing in these 4 games, even though the result hasn't turned out the way you wanted it? What are you doing right offensively that feels like, hey, maybe we can build on this and continue?
Yeah, I think that it's hard to see all the things that we've done well because we haven't won. And then if you go back and just kind of look at some of the things that we have been able to do, and in the losses you try to fix your mistakes, but also look at the things that you're doing well. I think we've been really balanced offensively. I think we've been able to run the ball well. We've been effective on third downs. We've been able to score some points, and so I think when you kind of look at the last couple weeks, I think there's some positives there that you can definitely take away. Now the end result hasn't been what we wanted, to be 1-3 in the last 4 weeks, but we've got to find ways to turn the positive into wins.
And if you could you just repeat what you said about like the fact that Dennis made the announcement, but also your mentality just heading into the next game, right? Like it's not like a lot of that changes.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to prepare the same way regardless of the situation and regardless of what's going on. So for me, I mean, my mindset mentality hasn't changed at all.
Andy, when you had a chance to go back and look at the interceptions in particular, what was kind of your takeaway from those? It seemed like whether it was decisions or like bad luck with the ball bouncing off the air, any kind of.
Yeah, I think if you look at the first one, that was probably a bad decision of, trying to make a play down there in a tight window, and going back, I should either thrown it away or gone somewhere else with it. And the other two are just unfortunate. So unfortunately, tip balls in the league never usually find the ground, and the other one I got hit while I was throwing, and unfortunately because I had Chris open right behind him. So that happens. We've got to find ways for either to overcome it or not allow those plays to happen. But unfortunately, it did.
How have you seen Chris Olave grow in the games that you've gotten to spend together on the field?
He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he knows what he can do, and he knows just what we're expecting of him and what he's expecting of himself. And I think the confidence is the big thing that you can see it, that he wants to help this team win. He wants to he wants to do everything he can to help our offense be the best that we can be. And so for him, I feel like he's really comfortable with everything we're asking him to do.
How much have you bonded and meshed with the offense since starting with them?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good place with everybody. We feel like we've been in a good rhythm, and we've been able to do some good things that I was talking about earlier. So I feel like we're in a good place.
Like the communication is all flowing, for lack of a better word there.
No, yeah, for sure. I think that's the one thing, from the first time that I was starting. I want to make sure that the communication's there. I'm speaking how they want me to speak and making sure that, we're communicating the right way to make sure everybody's on the same page. And I feel like, we're in a really good place with all that.
And the sack numbers have kind of been way down, and have you kind of made that a point of emphasis for yourself to just be in the right spot and not kind of avoid those negative plays?
Yeah, that's. I think there's some different things that go on with that. I feel like I've done a good job of getting the ball out of my hands, and not taking some of these sacks and stuff. And our guys have done a good job of blocking, protecting, and I think it's communicating and knowing when you're protected and when you're not too. So all of it has kind of played a factor in that.
Andy, interception aside, what do you guys need to do to get the red zone production kind of like where you want it to be?
Yeah, I think when you're down there, we've got to be efficient on first and second down. I think if you look at the drives that we haven't scored touchdowns, you would say that you're in a third and long situation down there. And so I think that's the biggest thing that we need to be really effective on first and second down to give us an opportunity, or score on first and second down. That helps too. So I think that's the biggest thing is, when you're third and longer situations in the red zone, it can be tough.
Andy, going back to preseason minicamp, I remember when you were asked about Jameis, Jameis is great, his leadership qualities, all those types of things. Given the situation now, is there still a way that, you can keep Jameis's head high, per se, and just kind of focus on what's next for both of y'all?
Yeah, from the very beginning, that nothing has changed there. I have really enjoyed getting to be around Jameis and to see how he works and the way he goes about each day and attacks each day. And there's things that he does that I can look at and say that, wow, that's, it's so important to him, and the time and effort that he's put into this game and to everything that's involved with that. And so I'm real appreciative of Jameis and who he is as a teammate and who he's been as a friend as well.
Andy, I guess along those same lines, is there anything taboo about you wanting, being willing to acknowledge that this is a big opportunity for you, and you've bounced around teams a couple of years, that you want to maybe establish something long-term for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one thing when you're in this position, the biggest thing you can ask for is an opportunity. And, fortunately, I have one here. And so I'm not focused on what this could mean and what could go on. That's all going to take care of itself whenever that time comes. I think one thing that I've learned, and I lean on my faith in a lot of different, in every aspect of my life. But, for one thing that I've learned is, don't worry about the future right now. You just worry about where you're at. God's placed me here in New Orleans right now for this time, and I'm just trying to enjoy this moment and be present where I'm at. And so I think that's the biggest takeaway that I've had, and biggest thing that I'm learning through all of this is, God's got me, and right now just be where you are and enjoy the moment.
Approach this year differently than maybe, the first year where you were in a bad problem?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's one thing for me the last several years. I've been in so many different situations and have gone through so much, and the biggest thing that we can do is, take the experiences that we've had and learn and grow from it. And, that's where I'm at. I've been in this situation before where you sign up to be the backup, and then the starter gets hurt, and then you get a chance to play. And I've also been a starter and been hurt. Then the backup comes in, and then he's playing. So I've been through all the different scenarios and situations, and so I think I've learned a lot from each year and that I've played, and just each experience that I've had, and I think it has allowed me to get to the place where I'm at now of just worry about right now.
Andy, when you had that conversation that took place as he was getting healthier?
That was a conversation I had when he got hurt.
We've kind of talked a little bit about the conversation AK had with the team after the game last week, and I'm just curious how you think the team's kind of responded in the days since then, and if anything at all has changed vibe-wise, mood-wise around the team.
Yeah, and I think for us, we have to be honest with ourselves, and I think that's exactly what AK was able to do. I think for us, we could feel like sky's falling on us, or we can find a way to turn this thing around. And I think it starts with us. It starts with the guys in this locker room and the mindset and mentality. And I feel like we've responded well, and it's been a good week.
You mentioned how you're really trying to enjoy the moment, and this seems like a simple question because of that. Are you enjoying yourself? Especially like earning the starter position. Is there a sense of pride there too?
No, yeah, I'm definitely enjoying kind of where I'm at. And, I've enjoyed just my whole time since I got here to New Orleans. I've seen different organizations, I've seen different fan bases, I feel like I've seen a lot. And so I think just since I got here, I've had a lot of fun.
Andy, another thing Alvin had talked about was realizing he has a responsibility as a captain and a veteran on the team to speak up and not let things slide in practice if there's false starts or turnovers in practice, making sure that's not acceptable. Is that something that's hard to wrestle with when you're new to a team and you're new to the starting role? I mean, is that something you have to find more of a voice as you go in this role too?
Well, it's not like this is my first start. You know what I mean? No, 100%. So, like, if this was 4 weeks ago and this got here, yeah, I think it was, all right, you've got to, okay, how do I make this my own in that moment? But 4 weeks of being around these guys, 4 weeks of talking to them, 4 weeks of being in the huddle, 4 weeks of playing with them on Sundays, all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, y'all may think it's like only 4 weeks, but I mean, that's a lot, And for me, again, just with my time and the amount of games that I've played and years that I've been around, like, I know how I want to operate and how a good offense operates and the communication that you have to have, and with that, I feel like it's not hard for me to go right back into that, if that makes sense. All right. Thank y'all.